Elon Musk is back with a new and revolutionary idea. We all hate public transport, we all hate getting stuck in traffic, but what if there is a better solution? In a recent interview, Elon Musk presented his new and revolutionary idea, with which we might be able to create a new, more efficient and more ecological, self-sustaining way of transportation. After Elon's great success with the Hyperloop, his revolution in self-driving cars, the amazing success of the Las Vegas Loop, and his ingenious idea for a starship from Earth to Earth, Elon Musk proposed another brilliant concept for the future of transportation. In a recent interview, he suggested that transport by catapult might be the key element to revolutionize future transportation. The idea stems from medieval catapults that were capable of hurling big rocks across an entire battlefield, up to 300 yards in distance. Elon said, if you can throw rocks, why not people? And if you can throw them 300 yards, why not 300,000 yards? Elon Musk named his invention the Hyperpult. This visionary idea would include a metal cage pod-like construction that can carry 2 to 8 people. The cage pod would be safely accelerated and safely hoisted into the air via a catapult-like mechanism. The cage pod then would fly a few miles through the air. After a short flight of a few seconds, the cage pod then gets safely caught by a tennis net-like contraption. Then the passengers can get out of the cage pods and be happy that they arrived quickly and safely at their destination. These hyperpults can be placed around a city, also on skyscrapers. With a cage pod capacity of 8 people, one hyperpult system can handle approximately 20,000 people per hour. Elon also suggested that amazingly, one such a trip would only cost half a cent. For longer distances, Elon also proposed an upgraded launching system via a counterweight trebuchet. He called this upgraded version the Gigapult and said that he's really confident that with the Gigapult, one cage pod can travel distances of up to 230 miles within a few seconds. Furthermore, Elon suggested that the capacity can also be increased to up to 500 people per pod. With the upgraded pods, an hourly transportation capacity of 850 million people can be accomplished. Additionally, Hyperpult and Gigapult will be solar powered and therefore will produce more energy than they consume. Elon Musk said that a first prototype of the Hyperpult will be available tomorrow, and he is really confident that the first commercial operation of the Gigapult will start next week. So that was all we got from the interview. Now here are some of my own thoughts. I personally think this hits the nail on the head perfectly. Instead of waiting for an expensive taxi or taking the subway with strangers that might be psychopaths, imagine traveling from the south side of Manhattan to the north side within a few seconds. Unfortunately, with the information at hand, we can only speculate as to how much AI technology the Hyperpult will use. I assume it's gonna be a lot, considering as to how much calculation you will need to calculate the trajectory of the pods. You know, you need to consider wind and air pressure and gravitational disturbances and so on. I would also assume that the Hyperpult will be capable of throwing Tesla cars around as well, whilst you sit in the car, so you can travel via Hyperpult from one end of the city to the other end, and then immediately drive on with your Tesla. I also assume that they will use the best SpaceX technology to build these things, so most likely the Hyperpult would also work on Mars, probably even better on Mars, because there is less gravity. Can you imagine getting thrown around with the Hyperpult on Mars whilst sitting in a Tesla car? That would be cool. The future is great. Thanks for listening.